That sugary black rum stain on the counter makes you teary-eyed with joy. It's almost touching how syrupy and sticky it is. How long have you been up already? Sweet Lord, a whole hour. And you haven't thought about rum and lemonade in all that time? You've truly extinguished all trace of yourself.
Actually, should I be thinking about this? Looks like drinking has turned out well for me.
Maybe you haven't turned out well for your drinking. Have you thought about that? Get a goddamn rum and lemonade into yourself, boy. Or better yet, lick that stain off the counter.
Don't like it.
What happened, man? You used to be cool. Go get your boring normal person drink then. It would go well with those cigarettes. That's a great combination.
A woman's hand wrote yesterday's menu. Today starts in a man's handwriting.
Can I help you?
I seem to be in the need of a fridge.
Yes, yes. For the dead body. You want to put a dead corpse into my fridge, right?
Correct him.
How did you know?
Because you haven't taken it away yet, and it must be stinking hard about now. Well, you're not putting it here, rest assured.
I'm not gonna even ask why. You're just gonna say something mean.
This is a culinary establishment, not a morgue. You don't have to ask me why you can't store a dead body in my kitchen.
It would only be for...
Lieutenant, you too? You're asking too? No. The answer is no. I will not turn this place into some kind of macabre circus.
Let's go talk to the frit clerk.
Is the trash container out back yours?
Mine? No, it belongs to the Whirling in Rags.
Thank you for clearing that up. Why do you keep the container locked?
Why? To keep the hobos and drunks out. That's why. And the neighbors too. They put their trash there and they don't pay for the garbage company.
I thought as much. And are you the only party with access to the trash container?
Well, yes. Us and the garbage disposal company.
It seems a little callous, doesn't it? Something stirs in you.
I wonder what this feeling is.
Prod at him and find out.
Doesn't it seem callous to you, guarding even your leftovers from the poor?
Callous? What are you, Kras Mazov? Almost all establishments in Revachol keep their trash locked. The Whirling in Rags is not special in that regard.
Krasmazov, nom de guerre, was an economist and a historical materialist. He was a leading figure on the Grad side of the Centennial Revolution, where he headed the 9-day government. Mazov is considered the father of scientific communism, Mazovian thought, or Mazovianism.
Maybe I am Krasmazov?
What are we talking about? Was this not about the trash container?
What if I am?
We should return to the case of your mistaken identity at a later time, officer. This was about the trash container.
We need those keys.
What for? Mazov? Are you planning to nationalize my trash container?
It concerns the case. Please cooperate.
Just bring them back once you're done, please.
I've seen something here at the Whirling Guard. A thing I need to talk about.
What thing?
I saw a sign that said the mess hall is reserved for the Union.
Yes, not the whole damn Union, thank God. Just the nastiest and loudest faction.
He tosses his head into stain.
They come here in the evenings. Dumb, unruly types. Think they're big shit. But they're good customers. They place big orders and always pay on time.
We should find out who this Lord faction is, occupying the booth. Loudness means talkative, and we need info.
He gives you a meaningful nod.
We don't. We have to wait. They'll show up sooner or later. Men get hungry, even striking men. If not today, then they'll be here tomorrow.
There's something else I want to ask about.
What?
By the way, you should come back to this thing-based questionnaire if you see anything interesting in the whirling later.
By the way, I'm gonna sing karaoke here.
Absolutely out of the question.
Absolutely in the question. First we find a sad banger, then we sing this place to shit.
About the money I owe.
Yes, have you got it?
How much do I owe you again?
A lot. A lot. For the room, drinks, and broken window, 130 real. Like what? I was really enjoying talking about the money you owe me.
The dishes are drying. They smell of chemicals and pine trees. An aroma of spices, alcohol, and tomato hangs in the air.
A thin man is smoking below an exhaust hood, occasionally sipping from his mug. This must be the Whirling's cook. As you step in, he nods toward the table and says something in a completely foreign language. The only words you can make out are Garanci and Kubek. It must be his name, Garanci. Garanci Kubek. Sounds representative.
Hello, sir. Got time for questions?
The man puts his cup down and replies something, his left hand drawing arcs in the air.
I need a fridge to store a corpse.
The man keeps shaking his head. His eyes seem sad. Then he starts swiping crumbs off the countertop.
I don't think he understands, officer. We need to find some other way to make ourselves clear.
Wait, what language is he speaking?
He's from Grad, a Koiko.
With the mention of the word Koiko, the cook starts talking excessively, his hands up in the air again. He's from Grad. People from Grad don't mind if they're called by their national derogatives. It's okay to call him a Koiko.
I need to get the corpse in the fridge.
Why am I the corpse?
He turns his eyes to the cook, who gives you both a bright-eyed smile.
Doesn't matter. I don't think he understood us anyway. He wouldn't be smiling if he did.
I know, Kim, I know.
What are you doing?
The cook looks at you doing the charade and smiles.
Pointing towards the fridge.
The cook says something. It's quite animated, but you still don't understand.
I need to put a dead body in this fridge.
Oh, no. Body no fit fridge. Fridge more.
How do you know? Maybe it's a small body.
No. I know.
Okay, we have our answer. It won't fit. We need a bigger fridge.
You got some impressive pots there.
He smiles and bangs his ladle against each of his pots in turn.
I don't need anything else. Stay masculine.
You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimple lock. It's painted blue. You immediately feel drawn to the color. Blue is for mystery.
I wonder where this door leads.
The door
Oops.
stands silent. You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimple lock. It's painted blue.
Touch the door.
The cobalt blue surface feels rough to touch. The stainless steel door is flush with its frame on every side. Old cobalt paint, rough on the fingers. 40, 50 years since this was painted, maybe.
Try to push on the door.
The door does not budge.
Yes?
Tell me about the case.
What do you want to know?
Would you say this is a mysterious case?
No, it's not a particularly mysterious case.
Why not?
The deceased is a security guard for a corporation involved in a labor dispute. It doesn't take a DeLorean polymath to put the pieces together. I just don't see the case getting more mysterious than that.
Okay, so the case probably isn't mysterious, but could it be sexy?
There was some interest in this case at my station, but not for the reasons you have in mind. You seem to wish there was
Cut this boring stuff off immediately. You know what this case is about.
Maybe there's a young woman involved?
Yes, it just so happens there's a beautiful blonde 19-year-old woman at the heart of this case. A rich one, in fact, part of a murder sex cult.
The weary tone is the surest indicator that the lieutenant is being sarcastic.
You're being sarcastic, aren't you?
Extremely.
He's basically challenging you to sex it up with some lurid twist. Don't get right into it. Sit on it a bit. Then hit him with it.
Goodness. Sorry about that. If we're from different precincts, why are we on the same case?
I'm afraid you and I are pawns in a pissing competition.
What do you mean?
You don't know? I assumed you were in on it.
You know what I am in on? Retrograde amnesia.
Better still than an imbecilic cop-off.
Cop off?
It's just stupidity.
What kind of stupidity?
The cop kind. Our precincts can't decide if Martinez is part of Jamrock or the Industrial Harbor. Yours or mine, as if we somehow own parts of the city. Typical street gang mentality. So we've let the Union make a mockery of law enforcement here, and now it's come to its natural conclusion.
Ah, so this is a struggle over who runs Martinet.
Well, sort of. It's less a matter of who gets to police Martinez than who has to. It's an orphan district, in other words. I think the dispatch desk just told both our stations about the hanging. There was quite the brouhaha at the 57th, I can tell you that. Time to settle it, they said. Cop off. But I assure you, I am not their finest or toughest with 102 cases solved. What I am is least interested in a pissing competition.
So he volunteered to represent the 57th, but not out of competitiveness. On the contrary.
What's special about Martinet?
Martinez? Nothing. It's just a puddle at the end of some drain pipe. No one cares about this place. They care about sports. Most of our colleagues don't even know how to get here. North of the interchange doesn't exist.
A tremble comes over you. Another after effect of ethanol poisoning, perhaps. Feels like leaves do when they rustle in the breeze, somewhere far away, below the turbine. The 41st and the 57th. The lieutenant was right. It's not about who gets what's north. It's about who doesn't.
I wonder what this says about me, that I was sent by my station. He raises an eyebrow, thinking it's best to let you make the next move. Don't be scared, but I think I might have supernatural abilities.
He opens one hand and looks at it. A moment passes.
Which school do you subscribe to? Mambo or Jambo?
Jambo, I get these strange shivers from being hungover just before a chill whisked down my back.
Hangovers do give officers superpowers. Many drink only to receive the gift.
What is the gift?
There is no gift. We should move.
Okay, enough of the competition then. Tell me something else.
Yes, it's a wholly pointless matter. Forget I ever mentioned it.
I think you should know that I can't remember anything.
No response. He just arches his brow.
I feel like I must repeat this. I don't remember anything. There's heavy drinking involved.
Have you tried concentrating on something other than your personal affairs?
There is a sudden, harsh edge to his voice, like he's tired of hearing about your personal affairs.
So what should I concentrate on?
Try work. The case at hand. It can work miracles.
I'm afraid this is a medical situation.
Really? You look fine to me.
Talking about serious, unbelievable damage here. I saw myself in the mirror and had no idea who I was.
This psychodrama is unbecoming of an officer.
It's not psychological. Some sort of major brain damage has occurred on an unprecedented scale.
Then you should consider seeking medical attention. You can use the radio in my kinema to call your station's Lazareth. Was there anything else you wanted?
I want to talk about you.
Me?
Yes, you.
I don't see how my life is pertinent to the investigation.
We'll work better together if we have more rapport.
That's a fair point. Alright, for the good of the investigation, what do you want to know?
Do you ever talk with yourself?
What do you mean?
You know, when you're thinking, do you ever have conversations with, like, your brain?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So you're saying your brain never just chimes in with advice or warnings or anything?
I can't say that it does, no. When I need to think, I just use my notebook.
The lieutenant produces his small blue notebook and idly thumbs through a few pages. You're super lucid, yet psychedelic. You don't need office supplies to connect to your nervous system. You're special.
You're wearing glasses.
That's correct.
That makes him a binoclard. Completely uncut material, if you say so yourself.
Glasses are cool.
Are they? They are mostly just cumbersome.
Tell me a secret about yourself?
No.
Oh, okay.
The lieutenant nods.
I am not gonna ask him that second question.
Good. Let's change the subject.
You seem to be following me?
Excuse me?
Nothing, just an observation.
You have a distinctive way of walking. If I were to walk in front of you, we would surely collide.
What do you mean distinctive?
I hope you don't take this the wrong way. It's just a collegial observation. In the 57th, we call it the Jamrock Shuffle. Officers from Jamrock's 41st Precinct tend to move a bit erratically.
How's that?
They say it's a scene-clearing technique developed by one of your lieutenants for gathering evidence. It's erratic, yet thorough. Prioritizes containers.
Yes, but containers contain things, shiny things. They're interesting.
You're kidding me. Why containers?
I don't know. Containers contain, I guess. I'm making assumptions. We should move on.
Did we get the keys?
I help you? Another thing. Great. I love those.
There's a mysterious blue steel door in the back of the kitchen.
Oh, yes, that door, sure. There's nothing mysterious about it. It's just a door.
Do you know what's behind it? Do you have...
No, I don't have a key. I don't know how to get there. And I don't care either. It's not like I've been wondering about it for 10 years. It's just a frit warehouse, probably. Or some boring storage space with a bunch of old junk and dust. Junk and dust.
He runs his finger across the counter to check for dirt.
He's attempting to maintain an air of indifference. It's absolutely not convincing.
I think you'd like to know what's back there.
Fine, okay, a little. But my job doesn't leave me time for wondering about one locked door in one of the cafeterias I manage. So I haven't opened it. I have cleaned the whole place 100 times over, though, after the animals. And I haven't found a key, so good luck with that. Yes?
Who are you? It's all about money, you know. Okay.
This trash container is locked. The sliding lid has a padlock that says, whirling in rags.
Open with the key.
With a well-oiled crack, the lock pops open. It should now be possible to simply raise the lid. Don't. Maybe you shouldn't.
Didn't I just have a premonition that there is something in there?
There is, but you won't like it. Sweat forms on your brow. Your hand is still on the lid.
Open the lid.
The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste.
We're just in time. This hasn't been emptied for over a week.
Look under the boxes of carton.
You see milk and egg rest with one broken egg in it. Some pasta wrapper. Picking up the soggy packages somehow feels familiar. You've done this before. The movements are recorded in your elbows, the methodology in your fingers. You're used to this.
Used to what? Dumpster diving?
No, searching for evidence in the trash.
Dive further.
A box falls into pieces in your hands. Batiste Soleil cereal. There are plastic pasta packages below, and turbo noodles. Nothing of note, however.
Pick at the rags.
Among the threadbare kitchen towels, something catches your eye. A pair of denim trousers.
Grab them.
As the legs of the slime-covered jeans begin to unspool from the garbage, a rank corpse smell fills the air.
The victim's clothes? Cadaverine odor is faint. If these belong to the deceased, they were removed when he was still in the early stages of decay. Drop them in here, officer.
The lieutenant produces a black plastic bag marked evidence from his pocket.
Guitar marked blue jeans. Pockets empty or emptied. He wore them with a belt, too, a white belt. The loops appear stretched, but
He looks into the container.
the belt is missing. That's it. Do you see anything else in there? I have another bag here.
Something slimy catches your eye.
Reach for it.
A drab, long-sleeved shirt, olive-colored, appears from the food waste, dripping with pus.
Bag the shirt.
This is a military-type overgarment. No label or serial number. This is the kind of rib-knit shirt that's worn over light armor to conceal it in an urban scenario. Anything more?
The rest of the rags are just kitchen variety waste. A yellow old mug that catches your eye. But other than that,
Thrown out towel, a mug, that's all.
All right. We should go to Gart again and ask if he knows who put the clothes in the trash. It could be as simple as someone from the hostel cleaning the yard. Or that one. I'd advise against confronting that force.
You think someone from the whirling might be involved somehow?
Not really. All we know is the victim's clothes are in the trash, the lid was locked, and his establishment had the key. It's just a small loose thread.
Yeah, we need that. It's the kids who put them in here.
The fuck's he on about? Kids? You hear that, Kuno? He thinks you're an infant or something.
See?
Okay.
the lieutenant nods, then looks back into the trash container.
Search the food waste.
It's just organic waste, cold and slimy on your hands. Apple and potato peels mostly. Unidentified sludge and the occasional chicken bone thrown in for good measure. But hey, nothing. It's nothing. Nothing more to see here. What's this?
What?
A blue piece of plastic sticks out from the apple peels. It's shiny. Looks like the corner of something.
Pick it out.
They look badly damaged, but you can still make out forms and notes, written in a man's handwriting.
Officer, is that your paperwork?
No, it can't be.
Yes, it is. Look. This plastic has the RCM street grid on it. You've even got an autopsy form.
A miserable looking slip of paper sticks to the board.
If you don't mind me asking, how did this get in the trash?
It must have been cramping my style.
Officer, this is an official piece of paperwork. It probably contains notes on numerous ongoing investigations and could even list undercover operatives, informants. I suggest integrating it into your style for all our sakes.
Easier said than done. How could this pathetic cabbage of copy paper and plastic ever become très disco?
Okay, I'll do that.
It would also not hurt to start taking notes on the case. Now, tell me what your eagle eyes see. Or are we finished?
The mug? I'm getting that mug too?
You pick out a broken mug with an oddly racist depiction of the yellow man frolicking in saffron,
That antique?
only in its social sensibility.
Take the mug, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
The lieutenant briefly glances at the mug, then returns his sight to the trash.
The container sounds a muffled gong.
That's one thing off the list. I think we got it all.
Lonesome, long way home. Here we go. Home awaits. Walk past Station 41 and through the market, past the Boogie Street spearhead to the other side of the lake, the frozen eye at the center of the district. Then past the video rental store on the corner. There, at the end of a street lined with pine trees, a small house no larger than a matchbox, 11 Voyager Road. You no longer live there. Those times are gone. And so are those people. Why did you come here? Why are you still here? And where's the dealer? You have to get back to work. That's all you have now. As you turn, a bright light catches your eye, making you squint.
Where is it coming from?
From a distant sunset, a stage light, flash photography, nowhere in particular. It's just what superstar law officers do. They squint at lights and they solve shit.
Yeah, that's me. I've been establishing my superstardom hard lately.
Yeah, you have. You're a big dick cop, Dick Mullen, Salam Rocky Bayi, badass on the edge disco cop. Time to recede into a ludicrous fantasy world. Here we go. Camera, lights.
Action.
With a sudden flash, the world freezes around you, and you along with it. In an iconic monochrome solution, a black silhouette against a rasterized orange world. It's on.
Native to logic. Why not?
It's just a racist mug. What's there to read here? Not much.
There's quite of a lot to read into here. Actually, look at that content.
Oh boy, here we go. What are you going to say about a broken, tossed away mug that you dug out of the garbage?
This mug is an example of prejudice. I'm going to use it as an example of what not to do.
But it was in the trash. Why not just call it out when you see it? Or do some volunteering work. Just finish your case, detective. It's the ledger you found in the trash. A pitiful cabbage of white and yellow papers hanging from plastic board, barely held together by a metal clip. This sad display is made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner.
Anything else?
There's a piece of toilet paper, or is it cleaning tissue? No, it's toilet paper, desperately sticking to the back of the blue plastic clipboard. It's a metaphor for you. Below the pathetics, terror. Do not look into its blue heart.
Inspect the clip.
An aluminium block runs the width of the board, biting down on the paperwork. Its crocodile teeth are the only thing keeping the papers together. A regular pencil, the tip worn down to nothing, has been attached to the clip.
Run your finger across the aluminium.
The surface is interrupted by a silvery sticker. It's rectangular, sparkling with iridescence. You don't know how you didn't notice it before. Looks like an official mark, made to be low visibility outside the right circumstances.
Hey, Lieutenant, what is this?
What? That thing. It's a halogen watermark. We use it for adding information to RCM property.
Interesting. What kind of information?
It depends. Aside from an anti-counterfeiting stamp, mine has my station number and address. The information varies by date of issue.
How can I read it?
Any capable light with the right wavelength will do.
Like, for example,
All RCM vehicles have headlights designed to reveal halogen watermarks. Mine too.
This means you can read the watermarks if you just turn the lights on.
that's all. Thank you.
Okay.
He returns to his neatly kept notes.
While a bunch of sodden papers sag from the clipboard in your hand, it's a sorry sight.
Browse the white papers.
In the
Or
back,
yellow
you
papers.
see thin, translucent copier paper. Some neon yellow, some bright red, all covered in boxes, like marching armies. These look like official forms, waiting to be filled out.
What types of forms are there?
3. The topmost are misconduct fines. The middle ones are station calls. And the bottommost are field autopsy forms. Each is easy enough to make sense of.
Misconduct fine?
A monetary penalization ranging from 20 to 250 real. Severe cases allow for 1,000 real, but that requires special paperwork. The details of issuing these fines are spread out over the rest of the fields.
Station call?
These are quite sinister in turn. They give a date and time for the person to appear at the specified precinct police station. Below the call are the criminal charges you risk by not appearing. All in a print so small it could be considered downright cute.
Field autopsy?
A dozen pages of thin copy paper, bright red in color. You see the parameters of a deceased human form waiting to be filled in. Age, sex, condition of internal organs, color of the irises, predation marks, condition of sexual organs.
Enough of these.
Yes, all that remains now is to fill those forms and hand them to people. Fines for wrongdoers, interview requests for bad guys, and field autopsies to dead guys. The rest of the stinking cellulose is much worse for wear. Being sandwiched between the board and the rest of the paperwork must have spared the fragile copier paper.
Browse the white papers.
They're not exactly white. They're yellowed in patches by sunlight and alcohol and covered in dense blue handwriting. Ink escapes into watercolor patterns, reaching its tendrils across entire pages. The paper itself is checkered with faint red lines forming short paragraphs. Once in a while, there's a red stamp that exclaims, "Case files, commit to paper." The case files themselves are plenty. You count more than 100 sodden, crumpled up, earmarked pages falling apart in your hands. They appear to be sufficiently organized and extremely dense, if mostly illegible.
What's in there? What are they about?
Work, strife, poverty, the Jamrock Quarter. These are handwritten logs of investigations dating back to January 51, this year. The exact number is hard to estimate due to missing pages and an odd naming convention. But there are at least 20, maybe 30 cases undertaken, not completed, mind you. What do you mean? Is that all?
There was a mention of a naming convention here?
Yes, it appears you employ a, shall we say, robust yet literary system. Each investigation has its case number written on the margins. Yet, still more tellingly, most are accompanied by a name.
Oh my, and they are written in capital letters too.
Yes, all caps. One is called The Next World Mural. Another, The Square Bullet Hole Murders. Another yet, The Unsolvable Case.
More?
Others appear more light-hearted. The guys on a couch in an unexpected location, and the murder at the hookah parlor. Even the rare article-free collapsing tenement. Murder features prominently throughout. You like this grimy murdering, don't you? It's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done. Once you're done inspecting them up close.
Kim, my cases seem to employ some type of naming convention.
You mean the alphanumeric? Officer, precinct, time of arrival at the scene?
No, I mean a non-numeric one with titles.
Oh, you mean the titular? Yes, well, so do I. In our defense, almost everyone in the RCM does.
Why is that?
It's a holdover from the early days of the RCM, right after the revolution, when the organization had little idea how to do things. It persists in an unofficial capacity. Officers use these titles to refer to their work among themselves.
I seem to have a case named a case the Square Bullet Hole Murders.
Again, in your defense, I seem to have named one the man with the hole in his head. That was a real person. His death was real. Still, I named it that, to amuse myself. I pray his loved ones never find out.
What happened to him?
Rail spiked through the head. He died. It was a workplace accident.
That's it?
The notebook is annual. It says 51 on what remains of its cover. A molten strap of cardboard. Everything prior to this must have belonged to a previous volume. In short, there was more. Judging by the creases on your forehead and the lines on your cheeks, too much more. Going back years, decades even.
I have to open an official case. Is there room?
There is, for precisely one more. 15 pages near the end remain untouched by the damage. The checkered grid forms a structure of passages, breaking the case into subtasks to accomplish.
Commit to paper using the pen Lena gave you.
The tasks you've completed flow out of the kind green ape pen in a brash freehand similar to the rest of the letters. The wording comes easily. It's almost robotically simple, a language developed for mental rigor and simplicity. Inspect the victim's body. Get the body down. Interview the cafeteria manager.
Cross out the ones you already finished.
A satisfying slash sounds across the paper. You're done, it seems to say. And you, and you. You're a swashbuckler with that pen, Harry, and it feels good. Feels like completion. Things to be done and things already done. The composition of reality. This is an extremely useful tool for a detective of the Citizens Militia. Now all that remains is to name the case.
Lieutenant, have you, by any chance, named our case?
No, actually. Any ideas?
The Hanged Man.
Great. That's great. That's actually what I was thinking too. The Hanged Man. Good, strong name. We have a very good name for the case now. I'm going to start calling it the Hanged Man. It's good we sorted this out.
I'm done inspecting these.
You don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from your nose now.
Look at the clipboard.
It's made of dark blue plastic, hard enough to beat someone to submission with. The edges are rounded, however. The U4 size board feels thick and heavy in your hand. Light shimmers on its wet surface. On the back, you see the embossed letters, RCM.
Shake the ledger.
Something rattles inside, ever so lightly. Is there a hidden compartment? And something small inside, light, made of paper or cardboard, or dried flowers perhaps.
Peek inside.
The plastic shimmers like lapis lazuli, but it is not see-through. You cannot see to its center.
What did you say the color was?
Blue. The blue heart. Don't look into it.
How would I open it?
With your hands. U4-sized pages hang from the clip screwed to the top of the board.
Smell the ledger?
The acidic stench of rotting food is rubbed off on the cellulose. It now forms the base of the experience. This base surrounded by a faint air of spoiled meat, the stuff of death itself, and then sprinkled liberally with the citrus zest of toilet cleaner. You know, like the bits they put into public piss bowls, probably called Fermi Discrete, or Axel, or something. At some point in its journey, the ledger has seen the inside of a public toilet.
Which toilet would that be?
Remember when I said the smell of the upstairs bathroom was so rank they should have sent a poet to describe it?
Is sprinkled liberally with the citrus zest of a toilet cleaner a line this poet might have used?
Why, yes it is, among many other things. This cleaning tablet is used by the whirling in rags. Perhaps that's where the ledger was dropped in the toilet. By you.
Inspect the toilet paper?
It's just toilet paper sticking to the back of the plastic clipboard. You can take it off if you want.
Take it off.
Still wet, the toilet paper peels off the plastic easily. All you have to do is shake it off with your finger and voila! The ledger now looks marginally better.
Put the ledger away.
Aces low. For the rest of the world, the aces low is just some cool Revachol thing, politically neutral. In Revachol, it still holds revolutionary connotations. Also, have you looked at Lieutenant Kitsuragi's clothes? He wears a bomber jacket, just like the ones worn by aerostatic brigades. And those cargo pants look like they could fit tools for hot fixing your burning aerostatic. You should ask him about this.
Yes?
let's get over. Just hurry up and talk to him. Hey, kid.
Fuck does Kuno care?
The boy turns to you. He doesn't care. The body. What do you know about it?
Shitload pig. What's your question?
Don't tell the pig shit, Kuno.
This is where you quickly ask him questions. Real cop questions. Like a cop.
There are contusions all over his body. Did you do that?
Fuck are you talking about? What is this contusion shit?
He grabs his head like it's suddenly hurting.
He says you're stupid, Kuno. They want to make you stupid again.
I hate words too. I guess.
Words are fucking shit. Make you stupid. Kuno's got his own words now. Kuno words.
Do you know how I got up there?
Probably climbed. Kuno was busy down the road when that shit went down.
So you didn't see it happening?
You heard Kuno. Kuno wasn't even in Martinez. Kuno wasn't in Revachol. Kuno wasn't regional.
Oh, okay. Where'd you go then?
I don't know. Some fucking
He looks around, trying to come up with something.
Mesco or I don't know. Some other place. Night City. Kuno was in fucking Night City.
Where's Night City?
Kuno gives this info out on a need-to-know basis, and you don't need to know. Kuno didn't smoke the gimp, if that's what you meant.
Do you know who he was?
Kuno's fuck gimp. Kuno uses the fuck gimp for target practice.
He could have just said he doesn't know.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fucking okay. Gotta have a gimp for rock practice.
Don't ask the pigs for permission, Kuno. Don't ask the pigs for shit.
Where's the rest of his armor?
Kuno doesn't give a shit about the armor.
How come?
Kuno's fuck gimp's got one big thing wrong with him. He's a fucking mutant.
A mutant?
Look at him. Fucking growth hormone shit. He's a giant. The armor's too big for any man. Kuno doesn't give a shit about that freak armor. Kuno threw that shit away.
Oh, come on. He's just pretending that he doesn't care because he's too small for the armor.
What do you mean you threw it away?
Kuno tried to get the helmet on. It was too big.
He performs a kickoff on the imaginary helmet.
Kuno kicked that shit in the sea, rugby style. That shit means nothing to Kuno.
You threw it into the sea?
Yeah, that shit means nothing to Kuno. Kuno doesn't give a shit about material shit. Kuno's a fucking monk. You wanna fuck on someone about that armor? Go fuck the mustached union fuck. The jolly troubadour shit at the gate.
What do you mean, troubadour?
Yeah, cock and boot. You know that jolly union cow fucker? Came around talking about cows or some shit? Came around pretending like he cares about cows? So yeah, he's the one you want to talk to. He's fucking crazy about that armor shit. Coming here pretending like he likes cows. Trying to catch a peep at Kuno's armor. Go to the gate. Ask him yourself.
Yes, this troubadour has it. You can feel it.
Have you seen anyone suspicious around?
Just a couple of pigs sniffing around in the dirt. That seems pretty fucking suspicious to Kuno.
Yeah, you tell the faggoty, Kuno.
You're testing Kuno.
Get lost.
I need a fridge to stash the body.
For the fuck gimp. Good thing you asked the Kunmeister. Kuno knows a fridge. Perfect for freezing.
I thought you would. Where is it?
Bacon Man's in a rush. But what's in it for the Kuno? What's the return on Kuno's investment?
I'll repay you for this information one day. Right now, the clock is ticking.
Kuno's clock's not doing shit. Kuno's got a fuckload of time.
There's nothing on his wrist.
Don't believe him, Kuno. He just wants to use your fridge.
Um, corpse-free yard. Don't you have any civic pride?
Kuno's got everything Kuno needs. All civics and shit.
You can't buy Kuno, pig. Kuno's already got everything.
Damn. Well, I guess I'll try to convince him.
By killing
Oh.
in his territory, someone has openly challenged Kuno. It's in his best interest to put them in their place.
Some arrogant shit thinks he can kill in the Kuno's kingdom without asking the Kuno first. That sounds like the lawlessness to me.
A dark flame smolders in Kuno's eyes as he ponders your argument. Wordless, like kings do.
This outlaw's fate is in your hands. Let's make an example of him. Help me locate him using fridge body technology.
Alright, Kuno hears ya. See that shit house over there?
He points to the collapsed building with the bookstore.
A cold comes over you as you glance behind him at the crumbling colossus there, casting a shadow on you.
Yes, I see it. The big tall one behind you.
You gotta get in that shit. In there, deep.
What do you mean in there deep?
Check the fucking basement, pig. Don't you know anything? Always check the fucking basement, recon style. There's a giant fridge down there. Fucking will fit, no problem. It looks like a white bird or some shit. Try not to piss yourself when you see it.
How do I get in the building again?
Through the bookstore, you gotta beg the book bitch. Used to be you could get in there through the doorbell, jam that shit. Book bitch changed that. Kuno doesn't beg, so Kuno doesn't go there anymore.
Beg the book bitch?
Yeah, book bitch, beggar. You stupid or something?
He means the bookstore. We have to ask. Plaisance is the mother of the little girl peddling books on the plaza. We have to ask Plaisance in the store.
Impressive note-keeping, Lieutenant.
See, the cloud gets it. Listen to your four-eyed friend.
Thanks, Kuno.
You didn't hear it from Kuno, pig. But don't forget where you heard it from.
Kuno owns you now, pig. You're Kuno's property.
Alright, see ya.
Kuno doesn't fucking care.
All around you, rain falls on the great city of Revachol. Rain drips from the eaves and floods the gutters, washing the filth away. The spring thaw must be here. The snow is melting.
What am I doing?
Looking up at the sky, cold water dripping from your hat.
What do I see?
Grey sky like great battleships, clouds colliding with one another. Rain falls down on the world.
How does it feel?
Your shirt sticks to your chest. The shoulders of your disco blazer grow heavy. The cold finds its way in under your skin. You shiver, and the city shivers with you. You're not dressed for this weather. You should get an overcoat or a patrol cloak.
What's in the west?
Sheets of rain over the water, a flight of stairs leading into the ocean. Wave after wave washing the coast of Martinaise, with its motorboats and gently swaying reeds. The ruins of a half-sunken sea fort crumble on an inlet beyond the Bay of Revachol. Ghosts rise into the sky.
What's down the shore?
Urban coastline, rain dripping off Eternite-covered roofs. Cinder blocks left over from half-finished construction. A defunct research and development building, once seized by revolutionaries. An old wooden church stands on stilts above the water.
And beyond that?
Coal City, end of all lines.
Who are you, ghost?
The skyscrapers of La Delta, the financial district. Faint golden light seeps from the office windows. Will you ever go there?
Will I?
No, you are just one of the hundreds of thousands who watch them rise across the bay from Martinaise every day.
Run your fingers through your dampened hair. What's in the east?
There's a frit on the corner. A plastic coat is folded into a small triangle under the counter by the window. Beyond that, the strike breakers have gathered. The great gates of the industrial harbour are locked. A chill runs down your back. You shudder like an animal trying to shake water from its hide.
Clench your teeth to stop the shuddering.
Behind the gates, heaps of supply crates, red and blue metal shipping containers, slick with rain. The Greater Revachol Industrial Harbour is an artificial mountain range. Immense wealth resides within, and immeasurable poverty in its shadow.
And beyond that?
La Drusienne, King Dries passenger harbour. Cruise ships flanked by dock arms, cranes watching over the mouth of the river distributary.
What is across the distributary?
Couronne, the lower middle class. Distributary after distributary cuts the city blocks in half. 7-story buildings trail off into the rain.
What's beyond the Curon?
A silvery curtain of rain over the houses. The class divide.
What's in the north?
Tower blocks crowd one another. 4.46mm bullets still lodged in their war-torn stone walls. Hallways collapse from the mortar hits of a war that was lost long ago. Clotheslines go to waste in the rain. Radios play.
And closer to here?
A yard. Rain falls onto the roof of a woodshed. Filthy water pools around a body. Droplets of rain slip from the dead man's cold cheeks.
What's in the south?
A traffic jam. Rain thrumming on the roofs of motor vehicles. Inside, drivers watch water streaming down their windshields. The statue of a king shudders. He too is cold. The canal bridge has been raised.
What's on the other side?
The road ascends. A raised motorway loops above the ghetto. Beneath its concrete columns, a sea of rooftops, woodwork, and tar stretches northward. 4-story buildings as far as the rain can fall. The snows melt in Jamrock.
Why am I not there?
To be in Martinez, where no one goes, at the runoff point of a long-forgotten canal, in the whitest part of town, in the shadow of the day the revolution fell.
What am I doing here?
Standing in the rain, looking north, where Jamrock Rock City stretches inland.
Where's the hood? Where's the hood? Where's the hood at?
Have a brother in the cut. Where the hood at?
Shudder and look further.
In the rain-swept distance, above the rooftops of Jamrock, a repurposed silk mill stands perched above the motorway exit. Precinct 41 hunches in the rain. Your vision blurs. You wipe your face with your hand. The rain stings your eyes, making you look up and blink.
What's above?
Coalition aerostatics hang like apparitions under the cloud cover. Way up there, where rain forms, rotors flutter silently. Your sight clears.
Motherfucker.
This rain will not let up anytime soon. You should get a raincoat. There's a freight to the east. They sell them there.
I am a gander and a hunter and a gatherer. Feel like a traveler.
The man mutters to himself, accenting the beats as he goes. Keep listening.
From another planet. Hey there.
What's going on here?
It's the jam, my man.
He motions towards the sprawl of lorries with a sweeping gesture.
The air from the east is thick with the smell of crude oils, heavy metals and other byproducts of the modern era. You can almost taste it.
What's the jam?
It's a traffic jam for the ages. Harbor gates up the street are shut tight, no explanation given. Workers on strike, scabs agitating, an all-around clusterfuck. Meanwhile, we're all stuck here in long-haul limbo for days upon days upon days. upon days.
So how long have you been here?
Feels like forever. Like I was born on this here roundabout and this was all I ever knew. Just me and the metal and the tires, the oil and the fumes of mazout. Yeah, imagine. It's been a whole week already. So tell me, what do you need?
Tell me more about the strike.
It's like whatever's going on over at the docks. Workers got a blockade set up, making demands, no way in or out.
Going on strike would probably help you dodge a bullet or two.
What's the union demanding?
Some pretty wild stuff, I hear. Like a giant new power crane in half the company? I forget what exactly. Good on them, I guess. I've heard talk there's a company rep in town, too. Like a strike negotiator type. They'd know what's up. Precise demands and so on.
Ah, yes, from the Wild Pines. We'll meet her soon enough, I'm sure.
What do you think the company wants?
They want to keep that money flowing in, my man. Ka-ching.
Anything else I should know?
Anything else? Yeah, this ain't really my area of expertise. I just do my job and get paid. I have things to do and places to be. All of us do.
All of who?
Us lorry drivers. Cam, your nurse. You still hang around here waiting for this mess to end. Most have scurried off somewhere to get drunk or high. Or laid. Not that I blame them, really.
Not you?
Not my thing. Chasing transient pleasures is a drag these days. I prefer the examined life now. Thinking, reflecting, observing.
He glances down the road towards the horizon, a glint of something in his eyes.
What's better than chasing transient pleasures? The more transient, the better. When one's ended, you can get onto the next one. He tries his best to look nonchalant, but there's a rigidity in him, as if trying to conceal something warm and deep beneath a cool exterior.
Know anything about the dead man? The one hanging behind the hostel there?
He ain't one of us drivers. I know that. All accounted for. Otherwise, I haven't really asked about that. Been wasting time right here. Keep him busy.
It's easy to see he's telling the truth. He's kept his nose out of the dark stuff.
Busy with what?
Analyzing the fundamental structural and psychological conditions of being stranded in the midst of a sea of motor lorries and their sad, despondent chauffeurs.
And what's your conclusion?
A sense of surprise there ain't more bodies hanging from more trees.
What are you hauling anyways?
Oh, high-grade narcotics, illegal firearms, stuff like that.
Wicked. I always wanted a friend in the underworld.
Ha! No, I'm joking, my man. Found runs a nice, clean business. This haul of cargo is mostly sporting goods. You know, tracksuits and that kind of thing. They usually get shipped to Grodd and the Occident. Though we've been making headway in the Il Moran market lately.
That's your machine behind you?
This rockin' beauty. Sure is. Like a rash you can't get rid of. You interested in heavy-duty cargo machinery?
Yeah, those lorries are pretty neat.
Neat. For carrying large quantities of cargo a long distance. These found tracksuits need to find their way to the kids way out in Wamrau and Laurent Bird somehow.
So nothing illegal then?
Not unless they've illegalized sports equipment while I was on the road.
Could I get one of those fallen track suits you're hauling?
We're pals and all, but I can't just freely hand out the merchandise. The bosses won't be happy.
Right, I have another question.
The man taps his fingers rhythmically against his arm.
Care to spare some change for a working stiff?
Huh? Oh. No, I ain't got any money. They don't want to pay for unfinished work.
They who?
The bosses, man.
Makes sense. First work, then pay.
Makes sense. It sucks is what it does.
I'm good for now. Good talk.
Don't be a stranger.
some kind of superstar. They say the world isn't ready for a rock and roll cop. No one wants their state monopoly on violence to be mixed with celebrity worship. They claim to know it would be dangerous for detectives to rise to the ranks of demigods and have sexual encounters with barely legal cover girls. It would be insane, they say. To all this, you say, fuck off and die, in a cool voice. You people have no idea how good these cops are gonna get. They're gonna crack 20 cases a day. In the future, cops will be like astrophysicists, or prime ministers, or prophets. And you're the first one.
Or exchange of -1 in logic, learning cap for visual calculus, suggesting electrochemistry and composure are all race 6. I suppose that's alright. Bold slogan, Human Knocks, covers the truck. Hello?
The small, wrinkled woman does not greet you. She nods along to something on her radio. A photograph is clutched in her hands, and there is a warm smile on her face. It's the warmth of a winter night's fire. Maybe she could give you comfort and shelter, some cigarettes and food money. Maybe she's your...
Grandma?
Nothing. Her smile just keeps widening. Her hair is gray like lead. No, this one is a monster in disguise.
Excuse me, ma'am. I'd like to ask some questions.
No response. Wherever this woman is, your words fail to reach her.
Snap your fingers in front of her face?
Nothing.
Oops.
No.
Wait,
The lieutenant stops you before you can snap.
she's just a distracted old woman. Better to leave her alone.
Why?
Why? I just told you why.
If you say so. An old monument stands in the middle of the traffic island, pointing towards the sea. It looks as if it's been reassembled piece by piece, secured and mounted in the air with the aid of numerous ropes and rods. Who is this? A silver plaque on the statue's pedestal reads, "I am Philip III, the Squanderer, the greatest of Philippine kings of Regival, son of Philip II, the opulent, father of Philip IV, the insane."
As you look up, you notice something about the statue. There are some odd indentations on the king's chest piece.
What indentations? What do I see?
Something with great kinetic energy seems to have impacted the cuirass, around where the heart is. A bullet? Someone shot him in the heart. Interesting.
Lieutenant, has someone shot the king?
Okay, I can't see it, but I take your word for it.
What do you think?
Well, Martinez is riddled with bullet holes. This place saw a lot of action during the revolution. But the statue is recently renovated, so maybe a joke? Target practice or a political statement?
How about target practice?
Why not? What this shows us is guns aren't too uncommon here. and people still shoot them, sometimes at kings.
He takes a note in his notebook.
The king stands high above you, surveying the bay, mute and indifferent to your sightings.
What did this king do?
What did he do? You have no idea what you did a week ago. How would you know what this guy did many centuries ago? High above you, the king's...
A foreign car kept in good condition. The lorries probably stored fuel here. Now they store booze. White tank top. Sure, why not? Ruins full of snow. No one lives here anymore. Goods from the lorry haphazardly littered the surrounding. Some great tectonic force has cracked the pavement like an eggshell. An ancient fountain. It doesn't even pop water anymore. There's a tree in it. Tire tracks leading onto the roof. The slush and rain has almost washed them off. Plastic wrapped macaronis stamped with humanitarian aid. This says humanitarian aid, tuna fish, not for resale. This says food gifts from the people of Manessa. Or Messia. A helpline to the company that controls the drawbridge. Hot air rises up from the sewer, sour, acidic, and strangely comforting. Alright, dude. Fingerless gloves. Water, lockout of order until Wednesday at 7:15 a.m.
G'day to you, officers.
A burly man hangs out by the waterlock, carving up a generous serving of salami with an old hunter's knife. His eyes are fixed on a man stranded on the other side of the waterlock and on an enormous billboard that has fallen down into the canal between them. His posture is relaxed, Despite his powerful build and the knife in his hand, this man resorts to physical intimidation only infrequently, if at all.
Do you know what caused this wreckage?
I wasn't here to witness it, but those look like tire tracks on that sign. Weird, huh? Then again, plenty of daredevil drivers in Revachol.
The words Daredevil Driver sound ominous to you.
Too bad it also takes a year and a day to repair anything round here, especially a water lock. The rest of the coast is closed off till then.
Do you know it's further down the coast?
Well, there's the fishing village, an abandoned fish market, a bizarro church. Not much use to the congregation, though. There always seems to be something wrong with it.
He thinks for a moment.
Yeah, not really much else. Just bombed out ruins.
Alright, goodbye. Roy's pawn shop. Fast cash for faster times. Some kind of machine, an antique cash register. Bust of a woman. The plaque simply says Day or DEI. In the dark, a film projector is whirring away. Mostly military wear, with a few more eccentric fashions thrown in.
It's not often that I see officers from the RCM in my pawn shop.
The man at the counter turns to you slowly.
What can I do for you?
He asks.
His courtesy is not insincere, but he prefers being alone with his projector, just watching the movement of light across the walls of the shop.
Now that the RCM is here, tell me, have you had any trouble lately?
I haven't had any problems myself, though some of my customers have complained about inconsistent law enforcement.
Who are your customers usually?
All kinds of people come through here. Locals, travelers, people looking for a deal, people looking for a keepsake, people who are terminally bored. As you can see, I have a wide selection of goods for everyone to choose from.
Quite the collection indeed.
It keeps me entertained.
His attention is drawn once more to the play of light and shadow on the walls behind you.
He's well composed, but underneath it you sense psychedelic processes bubbling. Some kind of drug, maybe. Entertained? He might be high. If he is, on what?
Is Roy high? And if yes, then what is he on?
Feeling warm and enthralled by the movement of light, while the mind continues to race forward. Lucky bastard. He's probably on Parolidon. It's tough to come by on the street.
Parolidon? What's that?
A drug developed by the military to treat and prevent radiation sickness. It has psychedelic side effects, and it makes your eyes turn yellow.
Is it just me, or is it warm in here?
I try to keep the shop at a comfortable temperature.
No judgment, just curious. I probably did loads of Pyrodon before I lost my memory.
I've had to take it, you know, since the People's Pile cleanup. I was with the Emergency Relief Brigade.
He's taken it for mental and emotional, not physical pain these days.
The People's Pile? What's that?
A bad idea. Some poor leftist built a particle decay generator in hopes of bringing affordable electricity to underserved communities. It malfunctioned. Radioactive waste everywhere. Probably some of it in you too.
Tell me more about this emergency relief brigade that you're a part of.
We were an all-volunteer force, self-organized. Tried to help the fire brigades contain the spill.
On the patch, gamma radiation lines crossed with a red drop of blood. Tough son of a gun, this one. Respect.
I lived by the river since I was a small boy. The Esperance. Didn't have the art to let it all go to shit without trying to do something to help out. There wasn't much the volunteer force could do, however. We wasted years in the river mud. Years getting sick.
He looks at the spiraling light and stops. It must have been tough, radioactive cleanup.
There's a reason why everyone's tried to forget any of it ever happened, and why no one has tried to repair or replace the pile. So much disappointment, and early deaths. Cancer mostly. And we knew all that was coming even as we were cleaning up as best we could.
Whose fault was it that the generator failed?
No one's. Everyone's.
He sighs and shakes his head.
So much bitterness.
A bunch of poor people built themselves a primitive nuclear reactor, hoping for the best. What do you think is going to happen?
How did you end up running a pawn shop?
The cleanup happened 15 years ago. I was young then. Later, my second aunt died. Left me this shack and all the assorted junk in it. So I came to Martinez. People told me don't go there. It's a shithole. I said, people, we just had a nuclear pile meltdown. I'm gonna get as far away from Forburg as I can. Still in the same city, but...
Thank you for telling me.
I like the theory more than the story. Outward movement, not vortices.
Yeah, you gotta get in on those vortices, my man.
You might be able to aid our investigation.
I doubt it, but I can try and answer any questions you may have.
Know anything about the recent hanging?
I do my best to keep my distance from all manner of butchery. Bad for business, bad for everyone.
No one likes to see what you have to see every day.
Ever had any dealings with the union boss?
He's been by the shop a couple of times.
He gives a lazy half shrug.
There was something awfully deliberate about that laziness.
Did he buy anything?
He purchased a remarkably garish paperweight the first time he was here. Nothing the second.
Did he discuss union business with you?
He tried. Wanted to come to some mutually beneficial agreement around my dealings with the dock workers. I politely declined to hear him out.
So you don't know what kind of arrangements he was talking about?
The lieutenant studies the pawnbroker suspiciously.
As I said, I refused to talk to him. That's why he came back a second time. That's also why he hasn't come back a third.
Why do I feel like you don't want to talk about him? Are you hiding something?
They weren't the most pleasant interactions. Small town bigwigs always want everyone to play a part in the play they're staging. But I bowed out at some point. I prefer to watch from afar while the bigwigs come and go.
He nods reluctantly.
Know anything about the Wild Pines representative that's in town?
Can't say I'm a huge admirer of Wild Pines. And I can't say I trust any silver-tongued spokesperson of theirs. Fortunately, I have no reason to get involved.
Wait, what do you have against the Wild Pines?
What should I have for it?
Have you met the Wild Pines rep?
No, just people like that make everyone else see the world somewhat askew. at an angle that is convenient for them. Now, you have more questions, or are we?
Actually, that's all I've got.
The pawnbroker's gaze is already fixed on the dancing colors.
By the way, do you, happen to have any guns like the ones carried by cops?
Someone else came here earlier today asking the same question. I promptly sold her the gun you pawned a couple days back.
What? Sold? The lieutenant shifts from one foot to another, alert.
Wait, I sold you my gun?
You were adamant about getting rid of it, officer. Said you were undeserving of a service weapon of the Revachol Citizens Militia. And I don't like keeping guns around the shop for long. Off the charts photon emissions. The unhealthy kind.
Was the buyer a policeman too?
She didn't seem like a policeman, although she kept referring to herself as a pig, which was odd. I found her interest in the gun a bit obsessive, but I was just happy to get rid of it, and of her. Truth be told, she was terrifying.
Right, so let me get this right. You sold your sidearm, issued by the Citizens Militia, and now a civilian is running around the streets of Martinez with it?
I'm sorry I sold my gun.
Yeah, it's not good. I do hope we manage to clean this mess up somehow, while also keeping our focus on the murder investigation.
Any idea where I can find this buyer?
My apologies, officer, but I have no idea where she was coming from or where she went.
A needle in a haystack. There is nothing you can do about it now. You'll just have to hope you luck upon her somehow.
At least I know how I lost my sidearm. Let's talk about something else.
Of course.
There's something I'd like to sell.
Let me have a look.
I'll check my pockets.
Anything else you're thinking of selling? I'm not purchasing any more clothing at the moment. Another time, perhaps.
A sewer grate, a gateway to the river filth. The damage looks like it could have been caused by an earthquake.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
Kim, how do I turn on the headlights?
Alright, ready? I turn, you press start. It's next to the preheater.
The dashboard lights up with orange glow. The rounds per minute gauge jumps, and the engine of the Caprice Canela comes to life with a whiny growl, like a leopard waking from its sleep, yawning and roaring at the same time. The lights unfold with a little click, casting electrical light onto the ground before the vehicle.
There you go. I'll turn them off from the remote once you're done. We just need to stand in front of the machine now.
As you hold your ledger's clip under the headlamp, an iridescent hologram appears. A street grid and the veins of a great river. A familiar sensation washes over you.
There she is. Revachol West.
There's a note of pride in the lieutenant's voice.
Around the borders of the watermark are dozens, no, hundreds of micro-perforations.
Look at the shimmering street grid.
The rectangular watermark is overlaid with the logo of the RCM, and yet the major arteries of Revachol are all recognizable. They shimmer in the Kanema's headlights.
Look around you.
A rat brazenly darts past you and disappears amongst the stopped lorries. In the distance, a child somewhere shrieks. A woman reprimands her in a voice no quieter than the child's cry. In the middle of a broken plaza, in a cone of light, barely visible in the daytime, two men, one slim, the other sturdy. They are on the city stage, but only one of them knows his lines.
Ah, Martinez.
Where are we on this?
Let me see.
He takes the ledger for a moment and inspects it.
Right here.
He says, his finger near the top of the map on a segment of coast jutting out onto the great ocean. I'm sure I've seen worse.
Oh, yes. Coal City. Le Royaume. The burnt-out quarter.
All of them worse than here.
Look at the perforations.
There are many of them, and they are divided into 3 separate rows.
Tally up the different rows.
The first row has 18 dots.
What about the next one?
The next is the longest. It runs all the way around the border, and then some.
Count them.
There are so many, it's hard to count. More than 150, at least. Maybe even 200.
What about the last row?
The last row has 3 perforations.
3? That's it?
That's it.
Hey Kim, what do all these holes mean?
Those are perforations. They represent your record as an officer of the RCM. They are your statistics, as it were. I should have guessed you'd keep a record. Officers often do. Let's take a look.
Son, here is where we score your life performance. You better hope it's good.
The first row represents your years of service. 18 years. Okay, not bad at all. What did you do before you volunteered?
Wait, 18 years I've done this?
That's what it says. I might have guessed even longer based on your age. What did you do all those blissful years of your youth?
Probably some boring office job, same as everyone else.
No shame in working a regular job, detective. Sometimes after a long day of doing this, I even envy it. Let's move on, shall we? This next row, the one that wraps all the way around, is your number of closed cases. Closed is good. It means finished. You've got, let's see. Wow, more than 200.
Is that a lot?
It's quite a lot, even for someone who's been on the force for nearly 2 decades. Usually, clearing more than 10 cases a year puts you in the 90th percentile of all RCM officers.
See, Kim, I told you I was a superstar cop.
Call it what you want. You were a valuable member of your precinct. Now, let's look at the last row. Right. Those are your confirmed kills. You've got precisely 3 perforations there.
Confirmed kills? That sounds pretty evil. A drink would soften that feeling.
So I'm a killer.
That's right. A killer of humans.
For an RCM officer, especially Precinct 41, which is in the Jamrock quarter, it's rather tame. I mean that in a good way. There are certain officers who treat their kills like some kind of ghoulish game. If they do happen to solve a case, it's usually by accident.
It's obvious the lieutenant doesn't think very highly of these officers.
But it seems as though you are, or at least were, one of the good ones. So we have that to be thankful for.
He's sincerely glad you're not a scary predator. Not to say relieved you're competent.
Have you ever killed anyone, Kim?
Yes,
How do you handle the strain?
everyone has their own method of coping, some more effective or self destructive than others.
He gives you a meaningful look.
Personally, I find it helps to keep up a few hobbies.
Like what?
Oh, this and that. Let's not get into it now.
Maybe I should find a hobby?
Why not gardening? You've already got the gloves.
He points to your yellow gardening gloves.
It's meant in earnest. Please don't mistake it for a jab.
Thanks for this.
The lieutenant nods.
Okay, let's go.
Right. I'll go turn off the lights.
He presses a remote control on the key.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Alice, please connect me to Station 41's Lazarus.
It will take just a moment, officer.
Her voices fade out into the familiar radio static.
Gottlieb, what do you want?
He's carelessly chewing on a piece of hard candy.
Just a routine checkup.
Oh, it's you.
I lost all my memory.
With all the damage you've been dealing yourself with drugs and alcohol, I'm not surprised.
You're not surprised? Okay. Anything else?
What else? I'm not a brain doctor. Look on the bright side. You've got a whole new life now. Use it wisely.
It's hard to say if he doesn't believe you or doesn't care.
Is there anything you can do for me?
What? You want me to do blood work for you again? Tell you just how bad things really are across the board? You want another rundown of everything collapsing inside your body?
I see your point. Might as well get back to work.
Do that. I need to go. Some idiot has glued his eyelids shut with cyanoacrylate. It looks like Mactorson, but it's hard to say because his eyes are swollen.
It's not fucking cryoacrylate. It's super glue, Doc.
Guess that's it for now.
Anything else I can help you with, officer?
I need you to connect me to a civilian. A Sylvie. She may have reported a murder.
Of course. What is the number, officer?
Kim, didn't Gart give Sylvie's number?
Yes, hold on. Her number is 005 1944 298.
Received. Hold on, officer.
Wait patiently.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi slowly begins to tap a little rhythm with his right foot. Quite a lot of time has passed.
Officer, I have Sylvie Malaika on the line for you. Yes, hello?
Hello, this is the police calling. I have some questions for you about your last days at work.
Oh, right. Hello, officer. What can I do for you?
There is no resentment in her tone. She wants you to ask her out. No question about it.
No, electrochemistry, she's not. Want you to ask her out. Was it you who called the police?
No, not me.
Do you know who made the call?
No, sorry. I don't. Not a lot of people have phones around here. Copper thieves take the wires. People don't have the money to have the cables put in again. They use the union's phone, or the one on the coast.
It was someone else. We'll find them sooner or later, officer. It just might take a while.
But why didn't you call? Didn't a corpse behind your workplace bother you?
What? Of course it bothered me. But I thought the union already knew about the corpse.
What does the union have to do with anything?
No one calls the police. The union would get angry.
What do you mean by that?
You know, what the union says goes. People listen to them and they take care of their own, which is like everyone here.
Wait, Kim. Is she speaking the truth? The union is the law around here?
Legally, no. In reality, yes. Martinez is de facto policed by the Dock Workers Union.
Words are not necessary to feel the lieutenant's discontent for the situation.
Looks like there's a limit to my authority then.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me, exactly why did you leave a corpse hanging in your own backyard for weeks instead of calling us?
I didn't want to get in trouble with the others.
Push her further. Show her the error of her ways.
What others?
The other people who live around here. Local people. I didn't want trouble.
What trouble?
You don't live here. You don't understand. Squealing is frowned upon here. Everything is dealt with, well, by the union, internally. Please, I just didn't want any trouble.
I see. Don't worry about it. I understand.
You do? What else can I do for you?
Next question.
Yeah, go on.
Do you know who put the victim's clothes in the trash?
No, I don't know. It wasn't me. I haven't been out there since. I was terrified of the stench and the corpse.
You quit your job at the Whirling. Why?
You mean why did I leave the bar? Honestly, I'm not really comfortable discussing it with you, sir.
Wait, why aren't you comfortable discussing it with me?
Let's just say I left because I needed to get away from someone.
From who?
You know who.
Alright, I won't push you on this. Are you ever coming back to work?
Maybe, I don't know.
Have you seen my
I
badge?
just know I have to take some time off right now.
Have you seen my badge?
Yes, I know who you are. You're a police officer. The law.
Wait, how did you first learn I'm a police officer?
You told me back in the Whirling. You told everybody, and so does your badge. I don't need to hear about it anymore.
My badge is missing. Have you seen it anywhere?
Oh, no, I haven't, sorry.
Real policemen have uniforms too, by the way. Where's yours?
Kim doesn't have a uniform and he seems real to me.
He's in plain clothes, voluntarily. It's different from not knowing where your uniform is. There are officers who wear the signature Perseus black uniforms to the highest ranks in the RCM and end up buried in them as well. Others do it more casually. Looks like you're one of them.
Have you seen my gun?
Please, no. Not this again. Everyone saw your cool gun, detective.
She sounds beyond exasperated. I showed you my gun. When did it happen?
You were trying to impress some people with it. Everyone was eating and...
She stops hesitantly, not sure if she should continue.
Sounds like it's going to be bad. Do you really want to know?
And what? What do they do?
You were waving it around in everyone's face, begging them to describe it. You said it calms you, and then you started making suicide jokes. It got pretty graphic.
People tried to back away from you, or even slip out of the door. But you screamed. I am the goddamned law, and you have to listen to me. You are all suspects in a murder investigation.
Okay, I don't know what to say.
Me neither. No idea. All I know is next you were waving around money instead, saying things like big bucks cannot lie and guns can't buy money, but money can always buy guns. It almost looked like you pawned it, but believe me, I did not ask.
Do you know how my paperwork ended up in the trash container behind the Whirling?
Well, you tried to jam it down the toilet, sir, clogging it completely. After I had unclogged the toilet and retrieved the paperwork, I threw it out in the trash, thinking you didn't need it. I am sorry about that. Anything else, detective?
I think I got everything I need, thanks.
I do hope so. Please, don't call me again. Bye.
Wait, why does she seem angry with you?
Yes, you have obviously done something to upset her at the Whirling in Rags, when she was still working there.
Wait, before you go, you're mad at me, right? Tell me, what did I do? I can't remember anything.
I'm not mad. It's just you were so drunk and so emotional all the time, and then the skua thing happened. Just made me want to quit.
What's skua thing?
The stuffed bird, the great skua. You threw it against the wall while screaming, "Fuck that bird," and laughing like a maniac. I think you said it had been giving you shit ever since you got there.
This doesn't sound like anything like me. I love birds.
Yes, well,
The static on the radio suggests Sylvie doesn't have a comment. So you're telling me I was the one who made you want to quit?
yes, obviously. You were the worst client I've ever seen. And I have seen so many assholes in this place. I've had sailors fighting, union guys grabbing my ass, kids stealing booze. Once a guy was glued to the karaoke machine every night for 2 months. But you,
Go on. I want to know what I did.
well, you were worse than all of them. Honestly, you were getting borderline aggressive. Even about little things like not turning down the volume at 3 a.m. I even liked one of those songs you kept listening to on repeat. No more. I hate it now.
Right. Was that all?
Then there was your room. Your project. An experiment to see how bad it can get in there. I tried to send the cleaner, but you wouldn't let me. Threatened to make me understand. I had no idea what you meant, and I don't want to know. And then you screamed something about how you're actually a real cool guy, and no one understands it. One of the coolest guys there is. The coolest guy in Jamrock. Something about disco, too.
I'm sorry.
And then I had to deal with your toilet. The one you clogged with police documents, causing water damage downstairs in the kitchen. I won't even mention you waving your gun around, harassing customers, threatening to sing karaoke, threatening to kill yourself.
Okay, I get it. I wasn't a very good tenant.
No, you really weren't. You were simply the worst.
I am truly sorry for everything, Sylvie.
God, I knew I shouldn't have brought it up. Just try not to call me again, and let's pretend it never happened.
You said I was singing. What did I sing? I'm looking for a song.
All sorts of things. The OO, some disco, rock too. So much disco and rock.
Maybe you can help me identify this one particular song?
Which one would that be?
One that was really sad?
Sad? I think the one you mean is the smallest church in Saint-Saëns. Richard, that right up.
Her voice carried a tone of disappointment.
Interesting. You still have to find it, however.
Right. Thank you for talking with me. Take care.
You hear a sigh of relief on the other end of the radio. Wordless, the call breaks. Then, the already familiar voice.
Anything else I can help you with, officer?
As always, it's DJ Mesh and Felicio, and you're listening to Street Freaks FM, bringing you the hottest, the nastiest, the most vulgar.
A flock of seagulls takes off nearby, startled by the roaring radio. Right away, the lieutenant reaches into the cabin and turns off the radio. He's not looking at you as he says,
Someone must have been messing with the radio, or maybe it picked up a random frequency. You wanted a prime line, right?
Speed Freaks FM, huh?
Oh, is that what it was called?
He's trying hard to act surprised.
Go for it. Turn the radio back on while it's still on the Speed Freaks FM.
Right, you don't want to get into this. No problem.
Nothing to get into, really. But sure, let's focus on the important things.
He pats the motor carriage.
This is Precinct 57. Can I connect it to someone?
I'm done with the radio for now.
57's over and out.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers, a radio on a... Hey, so we've been monitoring you internally, and now we know your Copo type.
Wait, there are Copo types?
Yes. Guess what's yours?
I was kind of hoping I'm the superstar cop.
That is only a ludicrous daydream. Guess again. You're the...
cool cop?
No, you're the sorry cop. The cop who's sorriest. Let's make it official then, shall we?
Won't the other couple types be jealous?
What? Jealous of the sorry cop? I think they'll be fine. Don't worry. They'll be super, super fine. It'll be totally okay. You can dual copo type from sorry to anything.
I'm sorry.
Of course you are. It's okay. See if you can get something out of this, like info. Or maybe every time you say you're sorry, you get $1 million.
This winch mechanism has been oxidizing for some years.
An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material, Eternite.
What is this?
It's nothing. Someone just left some roofing material slanted against an old shack.
Why am I looking at this pile of roofing material?
Because it's nice and orderly. Well-laid pallets. Easy on the eyes. No, there's more to this. You get this strange feeling.
What feeling?
Hard to say. It's gone now. Feelings pass, you see. Especially the small ones. An inconspicuous pile of the roofing, because there's a secret door hidden behind the panels of Eternite. That's why they're too orderly.
Pull the panels aside.
There it is. You see a shabby little door.
What is this then? A tool shed? Let's investigate.
An empty tube of magnesium, a magnesium supplement. The poster says, "Get out of the way or get fucked up." A silver plate with traces of bone yellow powder.
Be still, my beating heart. It's amphetamine. Sweet amphetamine. The lieutenant isn't studying the powder in the mirror. He's studying you.
Someone has been taking narcotics here. Perhaps the police should interfere.
Perhaps not. This is below our pay grade, detective. However,
He points to the ladder in the corner.
see that ladder there? It's probably another way into the industrial harbor, no? A secret path the local kids use.
Cured pig's head. It looks mummified. Restoration pillars kept the ruins together. This doorway is going to collapse soon. These barrels are half full with rainwater. I think I'm gonna end here for today. I'm pretty tired. I may stream this sometime later on in the week if I feel like it. If not, then Sunday will be the next time I stream this. Everyone, have a good night, and thank you for coming out.